That's the arrival of Honorable Daniel Otesano and Honorable Jerolimkeh M.Piah, both the Deputy Minister of Press and Public Affairs, and Minister Piah, the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, along with the Director General of the Liberia National Fire Service with his principal deputies. So if you're just joining all of this, welcome, sticking still as I bring this full updates on Mega Press Briefing. Keep following. Keep following.
So if we stay here, we talk about
So once again, if you're just joining us, I would like to say welcome.
Television viewers, distinguished colleagues, this afternoon I'd like to welcome you in the Charles Beyond Press Law, where our regular
Friends and family is acting. Assistant Minister for Information Services, this is Daniel Otesano, Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs here at MICAT. So once again, if you just join us, I'd like to say welcome, sticking still guys, don't you go away.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Hope Estates. Good afternoon to Liberians who are following regular followers of the MICAT press briefing. We want to welcome all of you to a very edition of the government press briefing here at the Ministry of Information. And note that EFBC is currently at the ministerial complex, where His Excellency President Joseph M.Piah Sr. suspected to deliver key remarks at the 22nd General Assembly of the African Gold Maintenance Fund Managers that's currently taking place in the country. So LNTV is here for live. We also have a sister radio station, Crown FM, relaying this edition of the MICAT regular press briefing. There are also other community radio stations across the country that are relaying this press briefing. We want to appreciate professional media colleagues who are offering their voluntary services to aid the government effort to reach the ears of many citizens and residents. So we welcome you here. The press briefing has a regular format where we listen to the official spokesperson of the government, the Minister of Information, for his destiny, to clear the air on some issues. There are many things happening in the country. And part of the reason why we amplified the frequency, the number of times that we post the press conference here, because we thought that one day the book was not sufficient to enumerate the progress that been made by the government. And so we increased the frequency, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we normally take time to delve into various sectors, to bring you news about development taking place in various sectors of the country. So today is no different. Minister Jerolimkeh M.Piah will announce the podium will throw light on key sectors, development taking place in key sectors of the country. The government focuses on agriculture, road, connectivity, energy, all of things that happen in the country. We're going to throw light on various sectors. And then upon this conclusion, we'll listen to the Honorable G. Washington Senior. He is the Director General of the Fire Service. National Fire Service of Liberia is here to provide updates on all the development that are taking place in the sector. And so, Mr. Director, we're happy to have you. The director is accompanied by a team of senior managers from the Liberia National Fire Service. He will make the proper introduction when he mounts the podium. By this point, I want to stand on the 15 protocols to invite the Honorable Jerolimkeh M.Piah to the microphone.
Just listening to Honorable Donna Otesamo, the Daily Minister for Press and Public Affairs here at MICAT. This is Honorable Jerolimkeh M.Piah, Minister for Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. So I would like to encourage you to stick still us as we bring you this full coverage of MICAT Tuesday press briefing. Keep following.
Good afternoon to all of you. I will deal with just a few issues and the minimum for Sunday. We continue the engagement. And you are asked to lead the sector, and you've got people working with you. You have an obligation to help them to grow more professionally. That's part of the reason that if you observe, I gave the deputy, especially in the case of Star, the deputy of public affairs. In my extension, the one who occupies that position is a very disposed person in the government. I know there will be instances where if you are the minister, there will be want to be one to another, keep the deputy in the background, but that's when I have to personally do. The more you allow them to engage, the more you prepare them for bigger responsibility. So he will continue after I have paid attention to a few issues. And the first one we want to talk about welcome, Chief. I don't think we give you the detail of that. As a government, we are concerned about a frequent wave of fire outbreaks in the country. And the traffic manner in which some of our citizens are being made to succumb to death as a result of those outbreaks are becoming concerned with we will take some time of reflection and see what more we can do part of it to have real emphasis on prevention. Then what we do to stop the fire when it's taking place. The Shara community has called it into control. We just witnessed the child family was crushed to death in fire outbreak. You know, the fire service, neighbors, and others made efforts to save the lives of the individuals who were involved without success. As though that was not sufficient on Sunday, we were told, please, let's have some color in the press. As though it was not sufficient on Sunday, we were told that there was a lot of fire outbreak at the facilities of those staff. We saw a statement from the company commending your men for your quick intervention. And we think that we're going to get on board for our fire service. That your work should be acknowledged. But the bigger picture is the extent to which these outbreaks are occurring is of concern to the government. We want to extend condolences to the families of the up to 5 persons who died from the Dubois fire. It is our prayer that God will receive their souls and console the grieving family members. I'm sure the fire service will talk about that council. Another issue of concern to the government is the increasing wave of vandalism and landlords and evil attacks by wicked individuals. There have been multiple instances of hate and robbery, and the victims include ordinary citizens, backbiters, law enforcement officers. People are hitting and killing people and driving away. We don't know where this level of wickedness and evil is coming from, but as you will take away someone's life by recklessly moving into them, and will not have the conscience to stop or run away, is concerned. The security forces, particularly the National Police, is working to take extra steps in action to counter this wave of vandalism. It goes beyond these hits and runs. They are destroying signposts and just all things that have been installed by the government strategically to develop traffic purposes for our others. They are taking them away. As we advance in the letter say, other just vandalism, constitutes or acts of thievery are taking place. And sometimes we wonder what kind of country we want for ourselves. There's no question that this place is backward. And we know some of the reasons why the country is backward. This place used to be a sanctuary for many on the African continent. Then we chose to fight on ourselves. For a war that took us backward, destroyed some of the limited infrastructure advantages we had. And we started the process of reinstituting them. And unfortunately, there are others who say, will I allow you to do it? And police stuff will come and loot, and we'll find out and we'll steal them, we'll take it away. We want to say to those people, don't be careful what you're doing. We use the law, we use law to force us, and we're coming after you. Cannot allow you to define our country negatively. Can I allow you to undermine everything we want to do as a country, as a nation? If you don't need it, there are other citizens, non-citizens, residing within our borders. We appreciate these interventions in one better country. So we're not allowing you to define us with your acts of negativity. We act and we do so decisively to curtail and contain what you do and do. Of concern also to the government is the fact that there are some of our citizens who are attempting very seriously to infiltrate national issues with religious and tribal politics. Maybe many of us are so young. Maybe we have not read well the pages of history to know how destructive religious activism when brought into national politics can be. Maybe we don't know how dangerous institutionalized tribalism in national politics can be. I remember quite vividly, and I'm sure the fights that the boss was on. Elderly person that came over when we had the interim arrangement of Charles Judy Bryant, something took place here. And many people needed to appear religious. And what happened at the time is something that I've also let around and never forget. This town that you call Monrovia was in chaos. Places of worship were attacked and destroyed. Lives were threatened. It took real effort to restore order. So when we see a re-emergence of this type of politics that brings in religion, ethnicity, we frown on it, and we want to encourage those who are involved with these to stop. Because the consequences thereof can be very grave. It is not anything in us here can withstand when it grows out of proportion. When matters go before the court, the judges and others in the court who are acting do so with no consideration of your tribe or your religion. They do so with the desire to dispense justice or dispense justice for of any other conventional interpretation. And so what courts are saying, you want to get involved in acts of violence, and you want to bring in the picture religion and ethnicity, we urge you to stop. Stop. Because the outcome of those kinds of actions will not be good for the country, and there is not anything we want. The law is blind. The law acts with no recognition of any issue or factor rather than just plain the law. So when you go before the law, you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are a Baha'i, you don't believe in God, it does not matter. And let us not force religion and ethnicity in national issues. Let's separate the kind of politics we want to have from religion and ethnicity. Let national issues remain national issues. Let legal issues remain just what they are, legal issues. Let not tie them to ethnicity or religion. In the midst of all that, acts of vandalism, thievery, attempt to divide us along lines that don't exist, the government remains focused on governance. We did announce that during this dry season a lot will take place, including the Dutch RF of the Boston operation in Rome. We've seen the slow start to that because, strangely, maybe as a result of climate change, it is still very much raining This is something that was unexpected. I remember last evening before leaving the office, there was a step down probably, and I'm asking myself whether we're in November. And I realized yes, we're in November, but there's also this process which has to do with climate change. So some interventions have been made here and there, but it's been a slow start because watching and running alongside the rain. But that has also happened, as we said. On the RIA road is ongoing. There have been some concerns. You know, pavement is the road. But when the RIA road basically alone. And the arrangement of that loan is such that on a year-by-year basis, the government is supposed to be making a certain amount of payment. It's not one of the loans you take in intensely to pay in the next 100 years or in the next 15 years. It's something that is supposed to be paid. So the government has that obligation. So as much as over 800 million was disbursed, and when the arrangement was made, the money was being disbursed directly to the company doing the work. And as a government, we have some concerns as to the conditionality and processes that led to that kind of style of disbursement, because at some point we got convinced that the work done before we took over did not commensurate with the money totally spent. So as a result of that, the government requested the Operating Commission to audit the financial transactions surrounding that road. That audit process has been ongoing. The outcome will be made available. They will inform how to proceed further, because as a government we have not been able to make additional payment, knowing that the amount of money that was paid versus the extent of work done did not commensurate. So we were more interested in seeing what additional work could be done based on what had already been paid. And that's where we've been so far for all the work to solve on the road. But we realized, since the government came also, that these internationals that had the contract related to everything relating to what was happening on the road, including the new bridge that is expected to be built. The government determined that we didn't believe that they had the capacity to build a standard bridge that we wanted. So we had to work with them to subcontract the bridge component of the road. And so that bridge from the RIA highway will be built by the CRBC. The CRBC is the company that is currently doing the whole Arts Bridge. They have history, record in Ghana and all across the world when it comes to building very good bridges. So that portion of the whole construction will be subcontracted to them. And in fact, it's being subcontracted to them. They will build a bridge. They're doing some preliminary work ahead of time as to so they're doing that. So immediately the other report is being available, and some of the issues that we have considered are addressed. When we begin continue full scale, even though some work is ongoing. And like the Minister of Public Works said last night, we expect that the project will be finished by the end of next year. They have a default in liability period which construction people use. We use that time to do an assessment of what has been done. And probably you will see some wrongdoings, and you take that time to correct the wrongdoing, so that when you finish the project, and you say it's finished once and for all. So as a result of that component, that factor, that rule has been announced by the Ministry of Public Works, considering the default liability period that will be finished before the end of 2027. You'll be able to move on the road that takes you straight from the rally to conclude 4 lane as you see them. The electrical component of the work is being done without waiting for when they will finish. But you know that the project is on, that will take the road from the electricity component from Monrovia straight to the Route International Airport. Historically, that corridor has been dark. Everyone who's come to the country for 10 years back or now, they complained about the darkness of the road. We're solving that once and for all and before the Christmas. The lighting system will be dedicated. The way we look at the lighting system is that the LPC is making installation on both sides of the road. But the public work is supposed to be doing a different kind of work. I see some trees being planted from the middle of the road, complementing that, setting electrical work as well. So you have lighting on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, in the middle, and each of your route, if you drive into Monrovia, you know that you in a country that has found its feedback and is making progress. And that's for the RIA road. One of the things that we're also doing is a lot of roads for the country. The road that leads from Banda to Salaye was paved, but a single layer, meaning you didn't put additional layer there. Knowing what should be happening on those roads or what may be happening there now, we as a government determined that the road did not have to be single layer. So we have the funding to add the second layer to make the road better and durable. That process of adding the second layer, which we will start during the dry season, has been determined that it will not take a lot of time to the end of January. That stretch of the road will be finished. In addition, the funding that takes the road from Salaye, from Banga to Salaye, where we're doing the second layer, the overlay, to make the road more durable, funding from there to Konya is also available, and that road construction work is supposed to be ongoing. Meanwhile, the gap between Konya to Vonjima and those who travel that route know that it's no distance. It's been negotiated, but what we've done also is using the Paperford concession, which is ongoing ratification at the national legislature. The route from the Koma to Vonjima will be covered by that concession. And the way they intend to do it is while the construction is taking place from Salaye going towards Lofa, the construction on the Paperford arrangement will start from the Koma coming towards Vonjima. So both construction work coming from separate ends will meet. And that will erase the possibility of ending a period to say, okay, we're doing the road while we couldn't reach the other place, so it stopped to Vonjima. Because it will be coming from the Koma and it will be coming from Salaye. And the hope is not for it to stop anywhere on the highway, that it will be completed, that it will end, so that you're able to drive from Monrovia straight to Menekoma on paved road. That is taking place. And you know also from the Paperford arrangement that we are transforming the road from St. Paul Bridge all the way to Bowers as a 4-lane road, double lane. And then from Clay to Bombay as a single lane road, yet the same 2-lane you have. Now arrangements are being concluded or being considered so that you take the road from Toppenberg to Sawmill and from Sawmill to Bokolo and eventually from Bokolo to Lofa. The goal is to encircle the entire country with paved road. Already, the commitment has been there, and the Public Minister announced just yesterday that by the end of 2027, you will be able to move within the entire southeastern corridor on paved road. Meaning I can wake up one morning from Monrovia, take my car, drive past through Lima, pass through Grand Ida, pass through Fishtown, and all the way to Harbor. Meanwhile, the road work in ground crew, which is around 96 kilometers, money is available for the first 51 kilometers. Pavement of that first 51 kilometers starts this dry season. And efforts are being made to fill the gap between the 51 kilometers and the austerity that will take you to 96 kilometers. The goal is, next time we want our former president to be able to drive from where we started road into his hometown on paved road. How's it go? So I just wanted to make these points, and then, like I said from the beginning, ask the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs to continue with the other talking issues. But just before I take my seat, I just wanted to pay respect and give recognition to two individuals who work in what I was speaking. Brother, he said he's a saint. I don't know who gave him saint title, but he's Saint Tumani George. Tumani, welcome. Tumani George and others from the closing argument. And I'm pleased that you could see the need to just check in while we're doing our press conference. And also walking in is somebody that each of you can take something from. I mean, you are all young journalists who's striving to do better, and I must commend you for doing an excellent job so far. Keep it on until you grow to the height you should be. But there are some veterans that you always got to control, and one of them is Josephus Eric Kennedy. Kennedy is in country and he just walked through. Kennedy, thank you for stopping by.
Did you miss that?
Yeah, so welcome. This is the MICAT press conference. It's probably here every Tuesday and Thursday. You met me giving some of the talking points about the Deputy for Public Affairs.
So we just listened to our Jerolimkeh M.Piah, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism.
So let me just continue from where Mr. M.Piah left us. There are a lot of issues to talk about here. Announcing that Liberia is now taking place respectively in the Committee of Nation. But next week, from the 24th to the 27th of November, Liberia will host the 41st General Assembly of the ECOWAS Grand Card Insurance Scheme. This landmark event highlights Liberia's dedication to advancing regional integration and safe cross-border mobility. A memorial gathering will be held on the theme ECOWAS at 50 and sub-regional integration, defining the governance structure of the Brown Card Insurance Scheme, unquote. The gathering will attract delegates from ECOWAS member states, government officials, and insurance industry leaders to discuss the future of the cross-border motor insurance cooperation. The ECOWAS Brown Card Insurance Scheme ensures fair and timely compensation for victims of road accidents involving foreign registered vehicles within member countries. This provides third-party motor insurance coverage for motorists traveling across the border and foster both safety and ease the movement throughout the region. Towards strengthening security cooperation with the sister Republic of Liberia, the Inspector General of Police, Honorable Gregory Coleman, is in Freetown at head of the high-level Liberian delegation from the Liberia National Police. The Liberia Police bus visit is at the invitation of the Sierra Leone Police SLP to participate in high-level bilateral discussions aimed at strengthening collaboration in combating transnational organized crime. Also, the Liberian Settlement Police Chiefs will discuss on enhancing cross-border security operations, deepening intelligence sharing mechanisms, and strengthening sub-regional partnerships to address emerging security threats across the Manoro region. On today, IG Coleman and delegation are expected to meet with several senior government officials, including His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Jalal Jallo, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Mohamed Lamin Lawali, Minister of Justice, Major General Retired David T.O. Taluva, Minister of Internal Affairs, among others. On Wednesday, the final day of the visit, IG Coleman will meet with the Settlement Police Management Board to deliberate on joint strategies, institutional reforms, cooperation, training, and coordinated action against transnational crimes. The Ministry of Health has launched cancer prevention vaccination among young girls. The strong support from national and international partners, on Monday, the Ministry of Health launched a nationwide papillomavirus, the HPV vaccination campaign aimed at protecting thousands of adolescent girls from cervical cancer. According to the United Nations World Health Organization, cervical cancer is the fourth most common cancer in women globally, with around 6,600 new cases and around 350,000 deaths in 2022. WHO say the highest rates of cervical cancer incidence and mortality are in low middle-income countries. The HPV vaccination campaign rolls out across all 15 counties, targeting girls between 9 to 18 years. The Ministry of Health is calling on schools, families, and communities to work together to protect young girls from a preventable cancer. Last day before we invite the fire service boss, the Ministry of Agriculture has started the rehabilitation of the 144 kilometers of farm to market road in Lofa County. The Ministry of Agriculture has officially kicked off the rehabilitation and construction of 18 rural roadblocks from the Tree Crop Expansion Project 2. It is funded by International Fund for Agricultural Development, the RFAD. More than 144 kilometers of feeder roads to be rehabilitated are in Salai, Bonjama, Kolamu, Zozo, Kwadoboni, and Foya districts. These roads will be open and improved to enhance the movement of farmers across the region. The foster affordable transport of farm produce, reduce post-harvest losses, stronger cocoa and other value chain activities, reconnection of community long cuts by impassable roads. At the launch of the project, Dr. Alexander Luta reiterated the government of Liberia's commitment to addressing the lack of farm-to-market roads, a critical issue, adding that farmers will grow more food if they have market access. Farm-to-market roads have been a major challenge for farmers across Liberia. Many of them produce a lot, but struggle to reach the market to the poor roads. When we address the feeder road problem, we have access to more food for our farmers will be motivated and they can sell what they do. The government assures the public that will prioritize feeder road problem, will prioritize addressing the feeder road problem across the country. The Ministry of Agriculture guarantees that all road construction will adhere to national standards involving active community participation to ensure durability and lasting results. The Minister talked a lot about the road sector, so I will stop here now and invite the fire service boss who will make his presentation. And after the presentation, you already know the routine. We'll take a couple of questions from members of the whole festival here for all the correspondence.
So just listen to Ramadan Odesanu, who is to the Minister for Praise and Public Affairs here at MICAT. This is the fire service boss. Give for
Let me say thank you to everyone for opportunity to I came with the Assistant Director of Operation. They were responsible for fighting fire. Came out operated and the Chief of Inspectorate. The other OPS, the other extent of the hospital, silent. The rules, the height, and the sort of fire. Thank you. We've come this morning. All of this called know that the National Fire Service in the districts for saving lives and protecting property from the destruction of fire through fire prevention, through fire fighting, through rescue, and investigation. There have been a lot that have been said about the fire outbreak, and we want to take this time to extend our sympathy to the families who lost their loved ones, their children, of the fire outbreak. Whether on the Google Road, in Nicholas-Town, or the 72nd Boulevard, wherever, we should take heart in the Lord. Because in a time like this, it's really better to console us. We have had a troubling time as a result of fire outbreaks, beginning from July to November. In July, we had 16 outbreaks. We have 103 persons affected. Destruction of property lost their home. I will find a new to go to. Others, 19 fire outbreaks. 81 persons were affected. October, we had 12 fire outbreaks. 98 persons were affected. November, currently we have 8 fire outbreaks. And the leading cause of these fire outbreaks is their electrical. That will be referred to as Class A. You know, Liberia Legislative Corporation is doing well for us. The current is stable, but we got to be very careful to use the current in our homes. We said over and over again that there are devices that can help us, like the smoke detector, the fire alarm. You install it in your house. If there's any problem, what does smoke alarm senses smoke? Will blow the alarm, and you will be on the alert to know that there's something happening in the house. We also realized that because of the stable electricity, we will plug all our appliances and leave them on. Sometimes you plug the phone and it's socket on the wall. You just take out the phone, you take out the phone, you leave it there. When that charger gets hot, it needs to fire. what we refer to as housekeeping in the house. You got an extension cord. It has 5 or 6 outlets. You want to plug all the things on that extension cord. You are all waiting the extension cord. And sometimes you sit in the living room, you smell something burning. You all look at it. That thing is telling you that you can arrest you and go over there. Please don't unplug some of the things. And some of the things, when we leave our homes, we leave a double plug. When you leave in the house, unplug all your appliances. Put a double plug down. When you come back, when you put a double plug up, every time you put a double plug up, you see a spark, it means that you let something plug. And after you let plug, you hold the current by force, and that's only the appliance on will result to fire. So we've got to be very careful in our homes. Alright? So about, before in that country, like the minister was saying, we didn't know what we call iron bar. We would have a plain window. Right? You have to say, okay, you go to bed, nothing happens. But today, because of the world we live in now, we seal ourselves with iron bar, the window, the doors. We lock the iron bar, we walk in and lock it, blah, blah, then we lock the plain door, blah, blah. Someone can take the key and bring it under the pillow, or put it in the door, someone can but let me tell you, when something happens in the house, you become confused. When you sleep, when you wake up, you are confused. You don't know where you put the key. So, we want to encourage all of us, look at the statistics, and look at the number of questions I've got from fire outbreak. It hurts my heart. I'm a father, I'm a family man. And somehow they will obey our horses. There's a family who obey us only one way. But the fire outbreak started from the living room, and that's the only entrance and the exit. So other than just running to the bathroom and just helping each other where the burn the ashes. So we gotta be careful in our homes. As we approach the dry season, we want to launch our awareness. And this awareness not only for the fire service, all of us in the room, but those are in river land, listen to me. We need to carry the messages across. We see messages, we see tape on your phone, for orange, like we did before informing you, just gave me some tip of fire. Those things you be careful with. Alright, we'll be going to the communities. Beginning Thursday, we'll be in Sisiko 3. That's one of the communities that allowed, there have been a lot of fire outbreaks, so we want to go there. Niglistan, another area. We'll be going to Bishop community, where opposite the Moria Academy, and we're going to Johnson, another area. Every day there is a fire outbreak in that territory. So we'll be going there to create awareness, to educate our people on the do's and don'ts of fire. So we want to encourage all of us in the community that we live in, as we approach the dry season, let's discourage the people from setting the grass on fire. If you set the grass on fire, it will extend to the community and will affect the structure. Setting garbage on fire is wrong. The spray can that you use to spray, the spray that you use to spray your house, even the column and other thing, you put in the garbage, you go and set it on fire, it will explode. There are other chemicals in it. Even if you inhale the smoke, it will affect you. You who setting the garbage on fire. Another thing is saying street gathering selling. Not that we are against the people, but wanting to do it right. You cannot understand that that vapor, you will say the gathering as we inhale that vapor, it affects your health. It may not be now, but in the future, after some years, you begin to experience internal effects. That is a flammable substance that should not be exposed in the public. You want to sell a sale to them the other time, put your resources together and buy a pump. You got a pump that you can, pump the gathering with. If you get 10 gallons or they make up 40, they make up 60, put it together in your powder pump. As you sell, you make good money, you fill another place and build another pump. So gradually you see, if your people are far, within a few years, you have 5 pumps and you begin to sell. We also observe that people are storing gasoline in the residential area. Do not store gasoline in your home. It's wrong. We had a situation on Clay Street. They had a huge quantity in the gallon. And the person was passing, you know what they there, and it caused fire. And the thing about it, those who set the causes of fire or who are responsible for fire outbreak, they will be running for that, and we go to rescue. So we want to encourage you, if you live in a house and see somebody doing gathering there, make sure that person get that gathering out of the house. Because if you are cooking here or you doing something here and that gallon is sitting there, you always put maybe a gathering in the storeroom. And sometimes you open the door, you can smell the paper, right? That thing is spending there. Any fire around there will hold it. So the fire goes to where the seat, the source, right? Then the paper causes the fire to where the quantity is. So we just want to let us know along the road going up country, and the poster saying the bushes on fire. It's dangerous. In the interior, when we were growing up, the people had a law there. From in the morning to 12 o'clock, you cook and clean up, cut the fire off. Because when the breeze begin to blow and you have fire running, the spark, the breeze will carry the spark to another structure and will lead to fire. We want to say to our Liberian people, the only people qualified to fight fire are the firefighters. You are not firefighters. When they go to fire, you give them the chance. Stop attacking them. They are not the one that cause the trouble. You cause the trouble and come to help you. To your mistake, carelessness, or ignorance. So we come to say to you, please give us a chance to fight fire. And you be our helper in the community. Advise the people against the thing that leads to fire. In this country, when the zinc is leaking, we can change it. When the ceiling is leaking, we can change it. But we never change the wire. Once we build our houses and wire the wire, say 20 years, 25 years, we don't check on the wire. We need to start doing that. After some years, call a qualified electrician to check the wire. Because you know that tension running through that line, right? As it runs through the line, the wire gets small, it gets burned. You know? And let me tell you in the country, your Liberian people, I'm told that they're hotel. That's what one woman told me. I don't know about hotel, they say they're probably like cheating. So you go to the store, the AG wire, number 10, number 12, I'm not for them when they call the price and they want expensive. And you go on about the whole change wire. You go and say, when they call the price, it was like 35 or 25, I say, I think they want alright. But that thing you buy, that trouble you carry. And you go to the house, they run the wire out of some time, the rubber money will break, will get dry, break. And every night they start experiencing shock in the house. Every night they start experiencing shock in the house, and they can lead to fire. So we want to provide this education, encourage all of us. As the message come to you, as we hear this message where you are, please inform other people. In the house, we always say there must be an assembly point. Buy your fire extinguisher, the first aid. When the fire starts in that corner, you can use it to extinguish it. We say you should wait until it gets to the scene. When you get to the scene, then the fire truck is there. Get your portable fire extinguisher and put it in the house. Learn how to use it. Learn how to use it. Let us be careful with the things that pop by some of us. You know that our children are very sensitive, right? Every day they see, oh, That rubber will put in the copper, right? Straight the match and put it on the lights. It start burning and the coal will catch it. But when you put that match down, you're not there. The child want to do the same thing you pick up. When you try it and start feeding the friend, they can chunk it anyway. Right away, it's out like a open, right like a bucket, magic to fire. So we don't store magic near the chimney. We let them near the chimney, put it somewhere that he can reach. I want to say thank you to the press who have been helping us to carry the messages. It's happening. We can say we eliminate fire outbreak or give fire outbreak. Well, to minimize. It is our hope that through the fire prevention messages, through the education, we take the precaution, because the life we save may be ours, the front of our friend community. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's the voice of the fire service boss. This is questions and answers. So once again, as journalists, I would like to say welcome. This is ELBC 99.9 FM. Keep following.
So can you embarrass about the my question goes to the Minister of Information Mr. Piah. Did listen to the minister about the
RIA road. Basically, I do live around the former Somalia Drive, now Japanese Freeway, where there has been a very poor lighting system there, where all the light posts are coming from the Freeport all the way to St. Francis Junction. The light posts are all been off. I'm much more concerned about the RIA road being lightened. What about the Somalia Drive road, formerly now Japanese Freeway? All the light posts are off. What is the government doing about it?
The next person, please.
I'm Joseph Zadi on a report for Lata FM and TV to the Director of the National Fire Service. You did give some numbers from June to July to present, and for me, I'm eager to know, since you took over at the fire service, how many deaths have occurred and how many homes have been affected. And B to that question is you, when you were talking, you didn't make mention on the fire incident at the Shara community and that of the fire incident at Lone Star Cell.
So my name is Joseph Salif. I am a Liberian journalist. My first question goes to Minister Sano. Minister Sano, this morning, a political leader in Mr. Simon Freeman, when he organized his press conference this morning, he said that the current budget, the $1.2 billion budget, does not reflect the ordinary people, and he's calling on for the arrest of those crafters of the budget. What is the official response of the government of Liberia? And to the fire service chief, there was this situation at Mira Gas, and we as journalists, team of journalists, we did our investigation. We even went at your office to ascertain on the current status of the report as it relates to that situation. So I want to know, what's the current status of that report? How many deaths were recorded, and how many persons have recovered? Is the company operating? If yes, did the company meet up with all of those criteria that you set up as an institution? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Regan Salebi, and I report for the State News Agency, that's the Liberian News Agency. So my attention has been drawn to the deliberation on the fire. It has been a serious issue in our country where Liberians are losing their lives. So over the time, we saw street selling of gas. We saw the government enforcing the law, taking those guys from the street. But after a few times, we saw the vendors coming back on the street to sell. What are you doing to ensure that that particular thing that you started doing be enforced. And the issue of awareness, Mr. Director, how forceful are you guys going to be? Because most of the time we'll come to the national podium and we speak about these things and they will get started, and at the end of the day you see it going down. How forceful your institution is going to be? Lastly, to my own boss, Minister M.Piah, as a journalist reporting for the state news agency, Minister M.Piah, we want to know the status of the state news agency. Like you always say, ERBC is the state-run institution. The Liberia News Agency is also a state news agency that needs all of the support, Chief. Do we have budget? If yes, why is this budget not affecting the Liberia News Agency when it comes to logistics, when it comes to support? Because we have a situation where reporters will even buy scratch cards to do government job. Chief, how this affecting the institution?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the name is Prince Mombida Tubo, and I report for Spotlight Africa Online TV. So my question goes to the Director General of the Liberia National Fire Service. You spoke lengthily, especially with the period under review from July to the present time. You spoke about occurrence, you spoke about people who are affected, but you left the public in limbo. I would say with the total number of people affected, what are deaths occurred so far? And nothing is how is it like with you since you took over with the issue of decentralization of your administration to other part of the country? But because most of the time your report are basically about Moserado or its surrounding counties that are close to Moserado, or about other counties that are far from Moserado. How is it like with decentralization?
Thank you. That's perfect.
Good afternoon, my name is David M.Piah and I report for Royal TV Liberia. My question goes to the fire service boss. He spoke about using cheap wires in the house. So my question here to you is, how can we prevent ourselves from using cheap wire into our homes when we are running wires through the various walls of the house?
Thank you.
My name is Josh Momo and I report for the Liberia News Agency. So my question goes to the Fire Service Director. Just a follow-up to what he said concerning this issue of substandard wires. I know the Fire Service to be a member of the Joint Security. They normally posted to our border points. These wires, substandard wires, come through the borders. What are you doing to ensure they're being tracked at that point? Have there been a situation where your men have tracked some of these substandard wires coming into the country? Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Jackson Halisiafa and I report for Sun TV and Cyclone newspaper. My question goes to the fire service boss. On numerous occasions, we've seen some environment impassable when it comes to the fire service response. So my question is, what have you been doing along with city planners to see that communities have alleys or avenues where fire service equipment can quickly pass to go and respond to emergency cases? Then the other question has to do with Mirror Gas and Gas Incorporated. Of recent, we saw the incident that happened at Mirror Gas and Gas Incorporated, which one person reportedly died. And then we have seen Mirror Gas and Gas in operations. What agreement have you come up to, and what are the recommendations so far from your office that they have put into places to bring the company back to functions? Thank you.
Thank you.
So just listen.
To ask about the alley. I think we see otherwise bringing structure along the various highways and communities. So that is the problem for us. People will see the alley where lacking a structure, a fence, and so it is the contested community are clear for us. to respond to fire outbreak. You talk about the stationary wire. Yes, indeed. Right now we have a meeting going on, interagency meeting going on with the LEC, the Fire Service, Ministry of Justice, the Regulatory Commission, and Commerce to see how we can handle the situation. The thing is, people will bring stuff in a continuum, so like they said, whether they can come to the bullock, where I don't know whether they can find out whether these products come through this structure that come to the bullock. So we'll follow on that. But what I do know is that most of these suppliers come through the Freeport of Monrovia, so we are working as a team to put up all of these substandard material. Like we did before, our challenge was the candle, because the candle that we knew at the time, the three of 1 inch above the box. If you use it, if it burns out, you see the piece of candle on the whatever place you put it. Well, we later on was there were candles that were burning this one day, the three was shooting, passing through the candle, If I light it, as it burn, you see it, the wax melting fast, and start burning. So we took on that challenge, and we said the chanting light was to best make a road and the candle. And we were able to bring that part. So the level of fire we are on it, I want to make sure that those structures. And one of the major problems we have in the community is this power tip. People will take the current and give the other structure and not using the proper electrical material or the wire in the house. So if you overweight, if the meter you have, every meter has a capacity. Alright? So we should not overweight the meter. So we are also working on that. The next thing is that, like I said to LEC, before you connect the Eve, there's a need for assessment of the wire connection in the house to know whether the connection is up to standard before you connect them. Because if you don't do that, anything happens to point out LEC. Oh, the LEC, my whole year, but now when you say LEC, connect the other, my whole boy. So they are also looking at that as well. Yeah, indeed. Fire service is decentralized. We may not have fire engine in all the countries, but we have fire engine now in Canada. We have one in MICAT. We have one in Sanikoli, and we are fighting hard to move all of whether there are stations in other countries and build new stations. Awareness. We started awareness. And we're moving on fine. People were following us. People were getting the messages and were applying, taking the precaution. But when the rain came, we could not go out. And it may interest you to know that in the new world, I mean in the country, there's not much fire outbreaks. The place where we are challenged is Monrovia. Is where we have a lot of fire outbreaks. So we will go by in, carry the medicine out. The thing is, like I always say, you can carry the cow to the river to drink, but you can't force it to drink. We'll give you the education and level you to apply it. So if you apply what we tell you to do to be on the safe side, you apply it, you'll be safe. If you refuse, you have a problem. The fire on Dupo Road is still under investigation as well at the Lone Star. So I don't want to say much about it because there are a lot of speculation. I want to make sure that we'll dig deeper to come out of the farmers and we'll let you know. The street government said it. Yeah, we get it. We were able to confiscate a lot of stuff. Those are in the warehouse. Right now we are in a technical meeting discussing one of the major issues is where do
you guys buy a huge quantity of petroleum product from the sale. That's what we want to get to the bottom. So if you have to go to the gas to buy it, you should not supply them. Huge quantity. So if you have a generator, maybe we say 10 gallons, 10 gallons, continue, right? But you're taking 60, 80 gallons. Where you going to do it? Where you going to put it? So we're working, with the importers, working with the retailer to see how best we can handle the situation. Then for storage and other things. The MICAT gas, that was a situation, and thank God we're there on time to put the situation under control. That gas, what is the cooking gas that the guys are dealing with, it resulted as a human error. The guy who was in charge of the valve left and went out. He left the valve open and the paper went in the air. And once the paper in the air, that was coming with the gasoline, people who were doing fire blessing outside, all that fire to the source. And about 21 persons got affected. And the final analysis, we got to know that I think 3 persons died, and the rest were treated. Most of them discharged, most of the guys were JFK. So what we did was we be there working with them. So we asked them to relocate from that place. That place is not a deep process of business. So we went there, we investigated the fire, and made our report to the Minister of Justice, and what we do normally. And so we are also the EPA, Fire Service, and National Disaster Management Agency. We are working together. They were found by the EPA $10,000, and we told we are working with them. We went there to do right now. We are inspecting all their facilities to make sure whatever they're going to do will be of standard and will not have such incident. What happened in the seas of the picture, the horrible book of brand, and these people will live without scar. Like I said, the fire at Jubo Road is still under investigation. And that being said, people are speculating on it, so we want to make sure that we get to the bottom of it before we put the fire out. The city of Don't Stop is under investigation. And the thing about the fire happened investigation, put that thing on fire accordingly, you go there, you just get what happened there. It will take you time. And the people we are involved right now, they found it, they're going to someone. You can't just go start talking to the people. You gotta give them some time. Alright? Those who are there, who escaped from the house, we need to talk to them. And so we're gonna give them some time, let the trauma, let them go to their trauma and maybe when it recover small and be able to talk to them. So we do a lot of things in getting our information. So it's not just one day that you can just go out to the fire or you go there, you don't know, you say, oh yeah, everything was the cause of the fire. So please give us the time to do our investigation. Like we did with others, people had a lot to say from the investigation. I mean, we presented the result, and people saw that yes, because there was a lot of speculation there at the director house in the Squadron era, and we did an investigation, and everybody saw that there was not any problem. So we want to make sure that when we do our investigation, when the result comes out, you will not question us. Somebody, how many persons have died since we took over the fire department? I can't tell you about last year because I can't remember the figure. But the statistic that I gave you, we had 21 persons that were, that passed as a result of fire outbreak. On the statistic that I gave you. So we want to make sure that we work with our people, we provide education for our people, so that we will not experience such a need. Thank you. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Mineral gas operation.
I say I'm just speaking without listening.
I think that's part of the problem. People ask questions and then eventually get absent when they don't get to the answers. That's so bad. Ask questions, pay attention. The young man who asked about the lighting system on the freeway, the emphasis on the Republic Highway because the lights have not existed there before. So they've been placed there. In other places where we had lights already and they have become non-functional, the problem will be resolved. Don't forget, before we came, during the past administration, they made some effort to put some street lights on. The difference is the street lights we put in out at a lifespan of between 13 to 25 years. Most of the ones that were put out in the past, I guess, was for political purposes. Some of them had a lifespan of 3 months, some 6 months, some maybe a few years. So you will see them dying down, and we'll replace them with the durable ones that we put in, particularly so the poles are already there. So we are not forgetting about the community will solve the problem. Yeah. The fellow who asked the question was, we don't take things that come from single female very seriously. If we did, it would have been a talking point all by yourself. But out of respect for you, saying you ask and you're a journalist, you have the right to answer for answer your question. If you keenly pay attention to some of the things single female can say, don't take you to be anybody serious. Because some of the things say there are no impact on governance. The other day I heard you saying, well, you can pay whether it's your money, buy a cream, to go webman. How is that an issue that somebody who calls himself a political leader should be talking about? The poor you and more are here who looks like they are both reached the level. How is that an issue? All the economic theories the man can propound, they come from a strange world. Maybe he's a fully economist. The man says you should close down the executive mansion and turn it into a hotel, 5-star hotel. The president, the only 200 PS officer, because he jack of all trade master of none. He knows security, he knows economics, he knows everything. But then you run something, the Ministry of Information is of a 10. We got several DSTV equipment here. That's why the breeze blows small, the whole signal comes. You can't fix it. You have one water factory. Everything in the news about that water factory was how filthy that place was and the bad labor practice associated with it. You can't face all these small things that contemporary you want to face. So you're taking serious. Go to NEC and ask for the result. You can run in every election. The number can reach 0.5. So it's an entertainer. I think what he does basically is to entertain people. And I think our any days are too important to spend it on somebody who talks nothing but gibberish, garbage, trash, and all kinds of things that don't make any sense. I have no regards for academics. This senior guy will be telling us now the school he got his economic degree from. And his theories are so strange, different from anything that's happening anywhere in the world. Somebody say, you can be a person who will get water to drink. Get water, and he get water factory. Now when I teach you again, say I carry water with this and he get water, you
Maybe on our day when we pay to you for DLTV, that you are the Bible whatever. So young man, don't waste your time singing for money. I think he's so much obscurity that he believes when he talks, then he gets more attention. You not force me to get your attention because I will not have talked about him. Seriously. The next battle you're seeing there again. When they call the number and say, nigga, come out. Not even for your own country numbers. That boy myself grew up in the same neighborhood. Our parents were friends. So sometimes when he talked about me, I can tell the boy, I say, I think probably it's some envy, jealousy, or he's obsessed. You know, when you and Paul grow up together, you come here together. And I think part of the problem is, you know, we had a very ugly past. And there are still vestiges of that past still around. The environment that has been created is not a place they can fit for survival. Where they survive best is in what they created in the past. We're not going back there. This country is on the path to progress, to prosperity, to development, and to strong democratic governance. That authoritarianism that existed in the past, which they benefited from, it's not going to come back. Since the space in the democratic terrain does not exist by the numbers we put up when they participate in the elections, they are in a state of perpetual anger. We do well. The man who asked the Lina, and I know the last 6 years before we came, you were here. The building you operated in that your Lina exists was a garbage site. It's only but now being changed. You broke the law here. Lina is no independent or autonomous agency. Your people in government at that time made them to be so. Forced the hands of the president to appoint the director and been assumed that I've never had been the assistant minister of information. First time it happened, they took that person title from director to director general. Lina is like anybody else, is like public affairs, culture, yes or department in the ministry. You all refused at that time for employee working to Lina to sign onto the HR record of the ministry. Create a paradise on your own. To restore what it all costs for. So again, maybe some of your angry, you can't put a question for your sake, go ask the other question. So the Ministry of Information has body that covers everybody, including me. I don't know about anything called Lina project. Key in the ministry, all the offices, big computer, they get it. You know, you can have a press conference? What do you say that? Failed, direct, nastiness. So if you're working here, so you say you report about Lina and you got concern about Lina, you know where you're going to have a press conference. Thank you.